You might remember that the movie Deep Impact, released in 1998, predicted at least 9 events that have occurred since its release. The most notable prediction, you might think, is the fact that the movie depicts the apocalyptic comet hitting the Earth during the presidency of an African-American man. The first modern African-American president was elected 10 years after the movie released. But how this connects to August 2016 leads down a rabbit hole that I personally have not yet sorted out. First, the African-American president was played by Morgan Freeman in the 1998 movie. In this scene, which I recommend you watch yourself since I can't play it on YouTube, the president says, quote, "Sometime on August 16, roughly a year from now, there's a chance that we might have impact." I can't play the clip here, but you can pause this video now and click on the link below this video to hear the quote yourself. The link should start the clip at 4 minutes and 22 seconds. So he says, on August 16, roughly a year from now, there's a chance the comet will hit the Earth. On August 16, 2015, Morgan Freeman's step-granddaughter was murdered. She was 33 years old. Also notice this occurred 1 year prior to August 2016. So when Morgan Freeman says 1 year from now on August 16, the reference could be either the date August 16th of any given year, or it could refer to August 2016. The fact that his granddaughter in real life was murdered on that exact date in 2015, 1 year prior to 2016, cannot be coincidence. Any rational person not having any other pertinent information can stop at that fact alone and not go down the rabbit hole, but still, being rational, must acknowledge that the murder of Morgan Freeman's granddaughter on the exact date that he stated in a movie 17 years prior is not a coincidence. But when one becomes aware that the movie also accurately predicted at least 9 future events, one may stop to ponder. August 16. In other words, August 2016 is also the final year of Barack Obama's presidency, the first African-American president which Morgan Freeman depicted in the movie. When this movie first released in 1998, some may have thought the depiction of a black president was unrealistic, and maybe it was at that time. But they weren't representing the year 1998 in the film. They were depicting the years 2008 through 2016. That seems obvious at this point. The movie 2012, which was released in Obama's first year as president, also depicts an African-American president presiding at the time of an apocalyptic event. If it weren't for the prophecy of Obama's presidency also in the ancient book of Daniel, then you might think these are just coincidences. But the Bible, which has made more accurate predictions than any Hollywood movie, is clear about the timing of the event. The asteroid or comet, it says, will hit at the end of the 1260 years, which Adam Clark predicted 300 years ago should end in 2016. The asteroid or comet, it also says, will hit at the end of the 70 years under the rule of the 8th king, which 2016 also represents, as we've discussed many times. The Bible prophecies have been proven accurate over hundreds and even thousands of years. And in recent years, it has also been proven that Hollywood movies are predicting future events, something that's now coined predictive programming because it's become mainstream knowledge that movies and television sometimes depict details about catastrophic events years or months prior to their actual occurrence. That's the case with the movie Deep Impact. There's no question that it predicted Obama's presidency. The question is, were they predicting that a comet will hit the Earth during his presidency, specifically in 2016? They make the statement that the comet will hit the Earth August 16, 1 year after the announcement. 1 year prior to August 2016, Morgan Freeman's granddaughter was killed on the exact date he mentioned in the movie. So 2 things. She died on the exact date of August 16th, and she died exactly 1 year prior to August 2016, the last year of Obama's presidency. She died at age 33, which we'll get to in a minute. We all know the comet in the movie was discovered by a boy named Leo, and the comet was nicknamed Ellie, which stood for Extinction Level Event. In real life, there was a comet named Elenin, which was also discovered by a man named Leo in 2010. This leads into the comet Elenin's synchronicities, which connected back to 9/11. The discoverer of the comet was named Leonid. The Leonids are a meteor shower that occurs every November. The Leonid meteor shower is on a cycle of 33 years. In another of the predictive programming films, Back to the Future, we're given 2 very important dates. The date that Marty traveled back to in the first movie, November 12, 1955, and the date Marty traveled forward to in the second movie, October 21st, 2015. Both of these dates represent meteor showers. November 12th is the exact date of the peak of the Taurid meteor shower, and October 21st is the exact date of the peak of the Orionid meteor shower. In Back to the Future, we're also shown the Twin Pines Mall at 1:16 a.m., the time of which is 9/11 upside down and backwards. If you noticed this in 1985 when the movie was released, it wouldn't have meant anything to you. Even if you noticed it after September 11th, 2001, you still may have thought it just coincidence. But after November 3rd, 2014, when the One World Trade Center was set up to replace the Twin Towers, there's absolutely no doubt that the replacement of the Twin Pines Mall with the Lone Pine Mall in the movie was no accident. Before Marty went back in time, it was the Twin Pines Mall at 9/11 upside down and backwards. After Marty came back from the past, it was the Lone Pine Mall at 1:33. The movie Back to the Future came back into the spotlight last year to celebrate the October 21st, 2015 date. The Back to the Future World Tour began exactly 1 year after the One World Trade Center opened. That accounts for the number 1 on the time on the clock. The One World Trade Center opened November 3rd, 2014, and exactly 1 year later, on November 3rd, 2015, the Back to the Future franchise started their world tour. We already know the number 33 on the clock is a reference to the Leonid meteor shower. This means the movie Back to the Future references all 3 fall meteor showers: the Leonids, the Taurids, and the Orionids. The Orionids peak on October 21st, the Taurids on November 12th, and the Leonids are on a 33 cycle, peaking each year on November 18th. The Back to the Future date occurred on October 21st last year, then the world tour started on the exact 1-year anniversary of the opening of the One World Trade Center and went through both the Taurids and the Leonids, ending on November 24th. Incidentally, Michael J. Fox, the lead actor in the film, recently performed the iconic Johnny B. Good song on stage with Coldplay on July 18th, 2016. So was the movie Back to the Future referencing the fall meteor showers? Yes. Did it reference the date the Twin Towers fell and the one tower which later replaced them? Yes. And did it seem to reference the 2016 election year? Yes, but that's a different story. And this is only the beginning of the rabbit hole. It goes much deeper. August 2016 is starting our biggest watch yet. The date cited in the predictive movie Deep Impact in August, the setting up of the Arch in New York in September, which, by the way, is also depicted in the movie Deep Impact, and the meteor showers from October through November. For more information, see the links here and below this video on YouTube. If you like this video, please consider providing support. Thank you to those who are making this research possible. I hope you're doing well, and I'll talk to you next week.